Brooklyn Independent Television.
Welcome to Healthbeat Brooklyn on Brooklyn Independent Television. I'm Dr. Monica Sweeney. The annual checkup. As a doctor, even I have to admit that most people don't exactly look forward to it. But when the time comes, most of us go, because we know it makes sense. A half-hour prevention is worth just about any cure. But not everyone feels that way. Of all the major demographic groups, among the least likely to get a checkup is African American men. Why is that? And what exactly are they missing when they don't get examined? Healthbeat's Fred Brown will demonstrate.
Good morning, Mr. Brown. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So how are you today? So we like to have a patient seated for at least 5 minutes. Relax, and then we want to check the pressure at that point. Okay. So, and usually it's an age. People say 40, 50, and I think 50 middle age is the age that most men start seeking routine medical care. But most 20-something-year-olds, I would say, and 30-something-year-olds who have no other medical problems probably do not get up and just go to see a doctor. This is called a sphygmomanometer. The nurse will know what it's called.
I don't know what that's called.
But it's just a cover. It's a protective.
And where does it go?
And yeah. This goes over. We normally put your sleeve up so it's clear.
So you don't have to take your clothes off. So we're doing this routine exam. Dr. Williams is walking me through the process. The whole idea is to dispel any myths. It's not rocket science. We're not at a funeral home. We're at a hospital, and they actually want to see people when they're healthy. So I'm going to have a blood pressure test. I'm going to have a diabetes test. I am going to come back for my prostate cancer test. But the routine exam is something that other men can do, which I'm doing, and get over it.
Men don't go to see physicians until something happens. I'm sure if you check with your colleagues who are male, the probability is that he hasn't gone to see a doctor until something develops.
Going around the corner, there was an exposed nail where a photograph or a picture was hanging. It scraped me. This was about 2 weeks ago, and I've done nothing about it. And I've been putting Vaseline on it. And the answer from the doctor is...
Don't put Vaseline in it.
So that's like a general misnomer. That's what people do.
You don't put Vaseline on cuts.
Well,
Oh, it's a scale.
okay. That's an old school scale.
Old school.
Right? All right. All right. You ready?
Yes.
I've been writing down something else.
Right. But you can't
So
cheat yourself, you know?
Let's see if it is what I've been writing down. It better be 225.
No, I got 230.
Yikes!
So about I would say 227.
Well, you know, in general, if you look at the United States in general, we don't have a healthcare system, unfortunately. I mean, we are one of the richest country in the world, and we spend on healthcare a huge amount of money. At the same time, we don't have a healthcare system. So healthcare accessibility is limited. Even people of low socioeconomic status are even scared to go into the hospital.
People try to self-medicate.
We all self-medicate. Everyone self-medicates.
Sometimes it's with liquor.
Yes. Yes.
So what I'm saying is our bill is going to be smaller to treat hypertension rather than to treat the consequences of not treating it in terms of having strokes, renal failure, dialysis patients, blind patients. This is a huge, huge load that we can really treat it at the beginning.
Okay, you can sit down.
Now I've been putting down something for my height to 6'2".
6'2"?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Step out.
Yeah, you can
Step up.
off.
Step off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I got 5 now.
Culturally, I come from a Caribbean background. I know that there is a lot of machismo in the Caribbean culture, not to admit that you're sick, not to complain when you're sick. There is a cultural pride in working with long, lengthy hours and long years, long suffering without, taking days off or taking off sick. And there is also a kind of underlying fear of the doctor and the hospital. People don't like it. And in the Caribbean, hospitals tend to be a little less, sophisticated than they are here. So people are very mistrustful of them. So there's just a prevailing fear of hospitals in our community that we are trying to overcome.
It is possible to reduce cost, improve quality of life, okay, and achieve better health care by screening and by prevention and regular checkups.
I remember my great aunt being an amputee and suffering from diabetes and spending the last years of her life in a bed with both her legs cut off. And that's the experience that a lot of the people in this community are bringing here. So it's up for us to re-educate them and let them know that this is a completely different animal, the North American medical system.
And, reaching out to people where they are, just recommending, if you have this, you may want to see a doctor, a general checkup after a certain, maybe 30, 40, maybe something you want to look in. Different recommendations, because people won't really come if they're healthy. I actually think that's not going to happen. But if you can convince them that there's a reason to come, and the reason to come back to preventive care.
Become a fan on Facebook, like Brooklyn Independent Television.